A referendum is a vote on a law, policy, or constitutional change that already exists, while an initiative is the process of citizens drafting new laws or constitutional amendments. Referendums only happen at the state and local level, and there is no way for a law to be nationally voted on in the U.S. Constitution, and they can only be amended through the direction of Article 5. There are two types of initiatives, direct and indirect. In a direct initiative, once enough signatures are gathered from citizens, it goes directly onto the ballot. Legislators are not involved at all. In an indirect initiative, it first goes to the legislators of the state where it can go through a few changes or be ignored completely. If there is no action in a set amount of time, it is added to the ballot for voters to decide on. The Arizona Constitution allows for a direct initiative process as outlined in Article 4. According to the National Conference of State Legislators, the process for presenting an initiative are as follows. A group of citizens files a preliminary petition with a designated state official. The official looks at the petition to ensure it meets requirements. The government official prepares the title and summary. Citizens take the petition to gather signatures, and then the signatures are reviewed. After these steps are concluded, the initiative can go to the next step. For an indirect initiative, it will go to legislators to be either changed, approved, or left alone to go on the ballot. For a direct initiative, it will go from these steps straight onto the ballot to be voted on. It will pass if there are enough votes. There are a few different types of referendums, but the most popular is the legislative referendum. The process for this is as follows. After a law is passed and citizens oppose it, they can put together paperwork. They need to acquire a specific number of signatures within 90 days of the law being passed and then submit it to the state officials. Once signatures are confirmed, the law is suspended until the next vote where the public can vote to uphold the law or not. While initiatives and referendums are both forms of direct democracy, they do differ in some ways. An initiative is when citizens propose new laws or amendments to their constitution, and a referendum is when citizens attempt to approve or reject existing laws. Both an initiative and a referendum give power to the people, which was the initial idea embedded in the Arizona Constitution when the progressive ideals were prominent. They are also similar in their process. The main difference between the two is that an initiative is a proposal for something new, and a referendum is in response to an existing or proposed law. Some pros for a referendum are that they allow citizens to hold power when they do not agree with a passed legislation. And because a referendum can be started within 90 days of a passed legislation, lawmakers take into account how citizens feel about a law and whether it is popular or not. Some pros for initiatives are that government can move very slowly in general, and initiatives can speed things up when society agrees upon one thing. It also ensures the government works closely with voters, and they both hold lawmakers in Arizona accountable for their actions. Some cons with initiatives and referendums are that when a law is passed by voters that needs to be fixed down the road, it is extremely difficult because voters' rights are protected so heavily in Arizona. The high number of signatures needed to achieve change, which is 5 to 15% of registered voters for an initiative and 5% for referendum, means that those with wealth and resources are more likely to achieve their goals. It also relies heavily on the intelligence of the community as a whole. Article 4, Part 1 of the Arizona Constitution outlines the powers that the people have and puts it into very clear writing. It outlines percentages needed for initiatives and referendums, and every section of Part 1 of the Arizona Constitution supports and puts into clear language the power of the initiative and the referendums. Direct democracy ensures that citizens are in power. The progressives built in power of the referendum by making sure most laws do not go into effect for 90 days, which gives citizens enough time to gather signatures and other necessary paperwork to start a referendum. The governor cannot veto an initiative or referendum that has been passed by voters. According to LegalClarity.com, the Voter Protection Act, approved by voters as Proposition 105 in 1998, dramatically limits what the legislator can do to voter-approved measures after they pass. The governor cannot veto an initiative or referendum approved at the ballot box. The legislator cannot repeal one at all. And the legislator can only amend a voter-approved measure if two conditions are met. The amendment must further the original purpose of the measure, and it must receive a 3/4 supermajority vote in both chambers on a recorded roll call. By having these protocols in place in their constitution, the progressives who framed it put in clear writing that the direct democracy was going to shape Arizona. The passing of the Voters Protection Act in 1998 proves that these values are ongoing in Arizona and that the direct democracy ideals run deep in the heart of Arizona.